everybody, and welcome to another episode of the JakKlauZ podcast on this nice June 4th day. I don't really understand what kind of a day I'm having. I'm having a really shitty day, and I just really don't know what the hell kind of day I'm having. It's just one of those days that just kind of kicks you in the ass and holds you down and makes you feel really shitty inside. And I don't really know what the hell is coming about this, but I know that we're living our lives and we're trying to be happy. We're trying to do things, and everybody's doing things, to live their lives every day. Me, on the other hand, I'm getting back into that mode where I feel like, do I really and truly need to be around? I got invited to Isaac and Tabitha's wedding on July 12th, and that's the same weekend as ERX, and I'm probably going to go to ERX on Sunday because I like, going to the event, and I don't have a problem, to go to the event on Sunday because Sunday is the day it kind of finishes up, so there's not really a lot of people there. It's going to be one of those kind of days. I might go or I might not go. I don't really know. On a positive note, though, I'm supposed to be going out on a date on Friday. I'm meeting up with this wonderful lady named Jess. She is a Jeep chick. She is probably going to, just, go out on a date with me and see how things go. We're going to talk. It's going to be kind of like a morning thing. Like, we're going to kind of have like a coffee and kind of like a coffee date, kind of like a, just like lunch or just breakfast or just talk or whatever. We're going to see how things go and see how we like each other, and it'll totally blow up in my face, or it'll probably be a good thing. I don't know. I'm thinking it's probably going to be like, you remember that show Cheaters that was on there, or there was another show that there was a guy that was like, where they would like, well, not cheaters, but what they would do is like, it was like they would pretend to be like, they'd be pretending to be like an underage guy or an underage girl or whatever, and then the guy would talk to them on, like a social media platform, and then say something about meeting them, and then all of a sudden these guys jump out and they like beat the crap out of him and stuff like that, But I kind of feel how that's gonna go too. But I mean, I don't know, man. I just don't really know, like, anymore about dating anymore, because I met this Jess girl on Facebook dating, and I don't know how it's gonna go. I'm kind of nervous. I'm kind of scared because I don't really want. I don't know about getting into the dating scene. I'm really worried about it, because it just doesn't seem like it's, it seems like it's kind of just out there, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's not anything against Jess or anything like that. It's all me. It's just me, not feeling very good, because the same thing happened with Abby. I went on a date with a girl named Abby, and, Abby and I we didn't go on a date. I actually went over to her house. And I went over to her house. I met her, and things, went the way that I thought they were going to go, and then all of a sudden I just had really weird thoughts, and I just, didn't feel like I was good enough, and then I felt like I was just a shitty guy and was mad at myself, and, you know, I hated everything that happened, and I turned around and went home. I was upset with myself. I basically wanted to kick myself in the balls, and I hate the way things are going in my life right now. And people just sit there and they tell me, Jack, you know, you're fine, you're living a good life, you're a great guy, you're, you know, going through a lot of things that other men go through in life, especially when they get to be about 45. They start to just don't want to date anymore. They just are tired of being hurt and catfished and ghosted. They just don't want to be, you know, they don't want to be treated like garbage, you know? And then I have people who obsessively follow me all the time. They love all my posts. They think I'm such a great guy. They think I'm so cool. And I'm just like, why am I so cool? I'm actually like, you know, I'm just a big teddy bear is all I am. And you know, things about me isn't great. I mean, my life is completely and utterly just, you know, a joke, I think, is what it is. And I've never really been happy. You know, I've never really found anybody that's ever made me happy, you know, but, you know, and it's just one of those things that just kind of goes downhill, and you kind of sit back and you wonder, you know, what did I do wrong, you know? And it's not from about previous relationships or anything like that. It's just things in life. Why am I a person that nobody wants to be around? I mean, you know, like, I go to car shows and car meets and stuff like that with Minnesota After Dark, and, you know, that's different because there's not really anybody there that, you know, I'm trying to, you know, hook up with, or I'm not trying to date anybody. I'm just trying to be there because I like cars, you know, because Minnesota After Dark things is car stuff, you know, and car related and everything else, and it just kind of feels like, you know, that's all it should be, is cars, you know. And I just don't feel like I even, like, and I don't feel like I have any reason to, like, you know, meet anybody there and everything else like that. So, you know, so I just go there for the cars, and that's what I do. And I love going to car shows, and I love going to things like that. But this Jess girl, we matched on Facebook dating. We kind of started talking to each other. We texted. You know, I was really trying to video chat with her and, you know, and see her face to face. And she sent me pictures of who she is, and I'm sitting here kind of thinking to myself, okay, she sent me pictures and stuff like that, but, you know, is it really what it's going to be cracked up to be? And, you know, am I walking right into a death trap, or am I meeting somebody that's going to be the next Mrs. Claus? Well, I mean, she told me that the Santa Claus thing was really sexy, and she thought it was really cool looking and really, you know, nice. And I sent her a profile, you know, for my Facebook profile. And then I met another girl. Her name is Tina, and I started talking to Tina last night, and we actually video chatted with each other. And I told her that, you know, I liked Vikings, and I liked the thing about it, and that I kind of am a Viking, and I kind of do things that's Viking and Norse mythology. And she kind of was like, is that a job? And I'm like, no, it's a way of life. It's like paganism. It's like Norse mythology. It's like, you know, it's like trying to, you know, Vikings and paganism is a religion. Yeah, it is. It's just that they don't have a book. If there was a Bible for the Vikings, I mean, then people would actually think that it's a religion. But there's not a religion for paganism. It's to them, they think it's just they think Vikings is just a show on TV where people are following something that they don't know anything about. But Vikings is actually a way of life. If you go to the Viking encampment at the Renaissance Festival and you live like a Viking, meaning that you do the same kind of stuff that Vikings do, like make mead mead. Viking mead. It's a drink that you drink. It's like fermented honey. Yeah. It's basically juices and berries turned into a wine or a drink. Yes. So if you follow Viking, folklore and mythology and Norse and stuff like that, then you learn about the ways of, the pagans. You learn about their, the gods, and you learn about their ways, their culture, and you have a better understanding. A lot of people just find it, when you say something about Vikings, they think, or when you say Thor or Odin, they think Marvel characters. Yeah. But Norse mythology is not a joke. Norse mythology is actually a culture. I mean, it's like a culture. It's a culture, it's a way of life. It's a way things are. And a lot of people understand it, but some people just don't. And, when I talked to Jose was a guy that I met and I hung out with, and I told him about paganism, and he thought, oh wow, that's really cool. I mean, he understood it, and he got it, and he thought it was really cool that I wanted to be I want to get my ordained ministership. The reason why I want to be an ordained minister is because I want to do weddings, baptismals, funerals, all kinds of stuff like that. And who wouldn't want to be married? Who wouldn't want to have JakKlauZ marry you? I mean, get married by KamoKlauZ? That'd be really cool. Yeah. So, but anyway. So Tina, I talked to her, and I think she's really cool, and I told her that I would like to, go on another date, or, or maybe go on a date sometime, but I don't know when that's going to happen. I really have no idea, because it seems like, I go to work, and I work Monday through Friday, and I love working Monday through Friday, and I enjoy having the weekends off, but I love going to car shows, and I'm going to start going to more car shows and stuff, but money's getting tight again. I was spending money before because, I was stupid and dumb, and I spent money on stupid shit. But I also, actually, no, I spent it on my business, to be 100% honest with you. I got new uniforms. I just have to put them all together. Yeah, I have to sew them all together. I have to get a sewing machine and put them all together, which I don't have a sewing machine. I would love to learn how to use a sewing machine, but I have to buy one. Now, I had one, but, now that I'm not there anymore, I don't have it anymore. But I'm going to buy another one, or I'm going to try to find out if my friend Julie, or my mom, Julie mom, can help me out. Because, Julie and I, we've been talking about putting together this KamoKlauZ stuff and getting some things, thrown on the table to do it, because that's what we're going to do. And I'm just trying to live my life every day like it's my last day on this earth, and trying to figure out, what I can do to make things better for me. But I haven't been able to find a solution yet. I'm really right now just trying to, battle some demons that I don't really want to deal with right now. I just want to go to work and do what I can and be happy. By the way, don't try to mix up Bisquick in a blender. It doesn't work. No. You have to mix that thing up with like a hand mixer, or in my case, just using a battery drill with a mixer, a hand mixer, beater, So yeah, don't try to mix up pancake batter in the blender. It doesn't work. But anyway, I was going to make pancakes, but as soon as I got done mixing all the batter together, there was only a minute before my alarm went off and I had to come to work. So I ended up buying food again because I didn't have enough time to make anything. Ended up going to bed last night. I got off work and I didn't have to go to work until I didn't have to clock in until 8:30. So I didn't have to get up until like 8 o'clock. So I got up at 8 o'clock. Only had about 9 hours of sleep. Well, yeah, about 9 hours of sleep, which I don't really understand. Just don't feel like I just don't feel like I ever get enough sleep all the time. And I've been thinking about a whole bunch of things. I got a lot of things on my mind. I feel like I'm never going to get better. I feel like everything is just not going to go my way. I'm sorry that you guys have to deal with all this crap with me and me going through my depression and my status all the time of talking about it online, where I just feel like I don't know what I ever did to deserve this kind of life that I have, where I look like I'm happy sometimes, but I'm not. I look like, I play this guy who's, always happy, always living, a good life, and I talk about this podcast, and I talk about what I'm doing and where I'm going in life, but underneath all of it, I'm just some big fat fucking loser that nobody wants to be around and nobody wants to be friends with. I mean, I do have some friends, I have friends that know me from Virginia and know me from North Dakota, and they know me, and every time they tell me, they're like, Jack, you know what you have to do. And thing is I just don't want to go to therapy because I don't want some lady telling me that I'm a fucking psychopath, or some lady telling me that I'm stupid or nuts or dumb or a waste of fucking time, because that's how I feel 90% of the time. I feel like I'm just like, I feel like, y'all remember the scene in Varsity Blues where Billy Bob is sitting there on the back of the tailgate and he's shooting trophies with a shotgun with a 12 gauge, and he's drinking Jack Daniels, or he's drinking whiskey, and he's sitting there in the back of the tailgate, and Moxon shows up, and you know, Billy Bob was sitting there shooting these trophies, and he was telling Moxon, he's like, you know, I got this. Steelers, best defense, you know, when I was in Pee Wee. Oh, nice, it's a Lambo. Yeah, Lamborghini. Yep, it's a Lambo. Huh, nice. But anyway, Billy Bob was sitting there telling Moxon that he got all these trophies and he was good and he was having fun. And then all of a sudden it was like, you're too fat, Billy Bob, you're too slow, you're too dumb. And then he would shoot the trophies with his 12 gauge, and instead of putting a barrel in his mouth, he was basically shooting these trophies and blowing holes into the ground because, you know, he was trying to clear his troubles and he was trying to clear his mind. And the thing is that every time I try to clear my damn mind, I can't do it. I got so many fucking demons that are sitting here fucking telling me, Jack, whenever you get your head out of your own ass, you know, maybe you need to fucking go get therapy. But I don't want therapy. I don't want to pay some fucking therapist to fucking tell me that I'm a nutcase. I don't want to fucking have some stupid, I mean, I can tell you right now, I'm going to get some chick, some doctor lady, or some guy who's going to look at me and he's going to tell me that there's something wrong with you. You know, he's going to tell you that you're nuts. And he's going to tell you that you're basing everything off of what happened in your entire life. But you can't fix the past, man. I mean, everything that you could ever fucking imagine. I would never want anybody to have what kind of problems I'm going through right now in their fucking head, because they would never win. They could never get rid of it. I mean, there are things that bother me so much, and one of the things that bothers me is always wondering if people like me, or if people just are liking me because, you know, they want me to, they want to. I mean, are they just doing it to put on an act, or do they really care about me? And I wonder that stuff all the time. You know, people tell me, Jack, you know, I think you're a great guy. I think you're cool. I think you're fun. And I'm like, yeah, okay. But are you just doing it to put on an act? I mean, you know, like I saw my friend Stefan. He got in a car accident. And, you know, and I told him, I said, you know, it's really cool that you're around and everything like that and everything. And I'm wondering if he thinks the same thing. Does he think, Jack's just saying that, or is he being serious? And, you know, I love everybody that's a friend of mine, but I wonder about the friends that are my friends. I wonder if they're just, because it goes back to the time when I bought McDonald's for everybody up at the car show. And, I mean, it really kind of pissed me off that night that I came up there and everybody was like, oh, you don't have any cheeseburgers? And I was like, no, I didn't have any cheeseburgers. And it was like, as soon as I didn't have any cheeseburgers, it was like, fuck you, Jack. Nobody wants to be around you. And I'm like, really? And I was seriously about ready to go home that night. But the thing is that, I brought somebody up to the car show. I brought Jose up, a guy I met, and I brought him up there, and, I didn't know, I still feel like he just, wasn't happy about going up there. I still feel like he, just was like, yeah, I met this guy, really cool, bought him dinner, and I feel like, to be 100% honest with you, I feel like I should have paid for dinner, because then I wouldn't feel like there's a giant hole in my heart because the guy's gone now and he's not talking to me, because I feel like I did something wrong. I feel like I did something bad, and I feel like, I just was putting on a show for somebody, and it turned out to just blow up in my face. I mean, there are times in my life every day that I go through and I wonder if anybody really and truly out there wants to be my friend. Like, I remember back in the day, I would go over to Brian Sullivan's house and hang out with him, and we'd fuck around and just be, doing shit, all day, and not having a care in the fucking world. And it was just cool that him and I were together, and we were talking. And now I don't have that because Brian lives in North Carolina, and I don't really have any friends here. The only friends that I have, to be 100% honest with you, like Tristan, he cuts my hair, and I know that he cuts my hair, and he does a hell of a job, and I get more and more people to come see him, and and he was on one of my videos a while back, and Tristan cut my hair, and and Tristan does a hell of a job doing my hair, and I invested in his barber shop by getting him a lather machine, and I want to buy him a towel machine, because I want him to start doing more things for more, hair related stuff, so that he can do it if he wants to. But same thing with Julie. I mean, Julie says that she wants to do my hair and stuff for me, and she wants to braid my stuff, and yeah. Well, this threw me off here. Hey Jax, I hope everything is alright. You're a great person to be around. Don't let all the bad things that may be minor inconvenience stop you from being you. Well, David, thank you for those kind words. The one thing that I feel most of the time is that I feel that most of the time when I meet somebody, I come off as loud and obnoxious, and I come off as a person who, is not serious, who's always joking all the time, and people look at me and go, wow, that guy's a real asshole. But the thing is that when he wants to be serious, he can be, or when he wants to be, cool, he can be. And that's the same thing with like what happened last week at the Loon. So, and what happened with like the Next X guys and all the different car clubs that we have in town in St. Cloud. I mean, I'm sorry that, I moved here to St. Cloud and that I saw you guys parked at a parking lot. I went up there and I started talking to you guys and I thought everything was cool. But behind all of it, you guys went behind closed doors and you guys posted up shit about somebody that you guys don't know anything about. And that's how it ended on St. Cloud's Shittiest. Or it ended on that group. And now all of a sudden you guys want to sit here and you guys want to fucking talk shit about a guy who doesn't even, who had something that happened to him 3 years ago, and you want to carry it over to another car club called Minnesota After Dark. You want to carry it over to that, and you want to go and fucking cause problems and be something, and post something that isn't irrelevant to anything that is on. You just want to make yourselves better than anybody else. And you don't care who you put down. You don't care what it does to their character. So you guys are basically, defecating their character or going after our defamation of character. You're basically talking down to somebody, and making them feel like they're just a bad person. Now, the thing is that, you guys go around and call people pedophiles and call them this, that, and the other when you don't know anything about a person, and you're sitting here saying that this happened, but the other person can't even defend themselves because, one, they didn't see it on the Facebook page until it's already too late, until over 1,000 people or 3,000 people on a group page saw it, and basically that person had no way of defending themselves. And so y'all met me, the people from NextX, and you guys, I commented on your guys' page. Your guys' car club has been around for 16 years, and I commented that was cool. I was proud of you guys for having your car club for that long, and I thought it was awesome. But here I didn't know that underneath all of it, you guys are just going to turn around and say something about somebody or post something that wasn't even irrelevant to the whole entire group about some guy that you knew nothing about. And you guys know who you are. You know who you are that did it. I mean, I still have your screenshot of who you were that posted it. And I sent a message to you. And I told you that you needed to stop posting shit about me or delete something about me off of St. Cloud's Shittiest because you don't know who I am and you could ruin my character. You could ruin the person who I am. But you just think it's a fucking joke. You just think that it's all good and you can go ahead and make fun of who I am. But I'll tell you right now, you have no idea what you're doing. So I'm coming on to my post and onto my Facebook, and I'm going on to my YouTube channel and my Twitter or my Twitch, and I'm basically telling you, look, dude, what goes on in other people's lives, if it's not car related, then don't fucking post it, because it doesn't need to be brought up. People's histories and people's lives are not something for you to fuck with. Because, in a world where people turn around and, go at somebody, yeah, they probably would go at you and try to find you in a parking lot and kick the shit out of you. But you're probably one of those persons who's just going to pull a gun out on somebody because you think it's GTA. You think it's Grand Theft Auto. You think it's okay to pull a gun on somebody. I'll tell you right now, if you really and truly want to be the person that you are, and you want to be the man that you are, why don't you come talk to me about what you posted? You know, come talk to me about why you posted my shit on St. Cloud Shittiest and said what you did. Because the thing is that, you know, you're going to sit here and you're going to talk about somebody that you have no idea. You have no clue what you did. And you're just going to blast me all over Facebook and make me out to be a person that I'm not just for your pure enjoyment. You know? Because that's your fucking choice. Why the hell you want to be that way? Why you want to post something on a Facebook page about somebody that you don't know? Because you're just trying to make yourself look bigger and make yourself look better and get yourself, you know, some likes because you just want to be that way. And I don't know about you, but if Minnesota After Dark doesn't want me around anymore because, you know, I have a pair of balls and I'm trying to talk to a guy about my problems with him, then I'm sorry. You can kick me off of Minnesota After Dark all you want. I'll still come up to your guys' car shows because, hey, I support your guys. And you know what? I want to be at your guys' car meets. Because the thing is that you guys want me around. At least I think you do. You guys talk to me like I'm a great person. But when, you know, I talk about defending myself, you tell me just to let it drop off my shoulders. But I can't. I don't like going someplace and having somebody call me a pedophile or call me weird all the time or tell me to fuck off, and they don't even have a reason to tell me to fuck off. I mean, you know, I don't know what I did. I really don't. And you got people who just tell you to fuck off all the time because they don't ever want to tell you, you know, they don't want to sit down and talk to you woman to woman or like woman to man or man to man. They want to just fucking throw you under the bus and make you sit there and wonder why they hate you. You know? One of the things about me is that, you know, I'm literally one of these kind of people that if somebody hates them and they don't tell them why, they sit there and they wonder about it, they forget about it, then they go back to it because it rears their head. But some days, you know, I just want to basically end it all. I literally want to end it all. I literally want to go find a gun. I want to put a shell in the chamber and just blow myself away. And you know, it is Mental Health Month. But it's always Mental Health Month for men. Because men are so goddamn, you know, so used all the time. And they're supposed to be strong. And they're supposed to be, you know, carefree about everything. They're supposed to be a man, you know? They're supposed to be a man. They can't fucking cry. They can't fucking have feelings. They can't have emotions. But when somebody fucks them up so goddamn much to the point where they're literally talking and saying, hey, I'm going to blow myself away because I don't fucking need to be around because somebody wants to say that I'm a pedophile and I play a Santa Claus. I mean, that is something, to be 100% honest with you, that you just sit there and you think, you know, I'm around kids, and you go and call me a pedophile, and you go and call me a creep, or you go and call me this, that, and the other, but you don't know the real me. You have no idea who the fuck I am. No, you have no idea who I am. So you fucking just say something to better yourself, to belittle me and talk down to me like I have no feelings. But, you know, I don't know anything about you, man. All I know is that you're a guy who posted something about me and my car, and you had to go and say things about me that you don't even know. And the one thing is that, yes, I'm sitting here talking about it on Facebook, trying to reach out to whoever the hell wanted to post this shit, because one, he won't come up and talk to me about it man to man, because he don't have a fucking pair of balls. I'll tell you right now, if you had a pair of fucking balls, you'd come up and you'd talk to me about it. I ain't gonna beat you up. I'm gonna ask you why. I'm gonna look into your eyes and I'm gonna be like, dude, why? Why do you have to fucking say something about somebody on a fucking group that isn't even car related? You posted a picture of my car and you said that, oh, this guy, you said the St. Cloud Superman got a new whip. Well, no I didn't, you dumb son of a bitch. I didn't get a new whip. I'm not the St. Cloud Superman. I'm not even related to that guy. I have no relation to him. I moved to St. Cloud to better myself and to live my life as a human being. Not to be belittled and talked down to some pussy that hides behind a Facebook page. And hides behind a group of car guys that fucking, you know, have a car club that's been around for 16 years, that used to go up to Pan America, that used to go up to, you know, places all over St. Cloud and go up and down Division like it was nothing. Because I used to remember that shit. I lived in Alexandria at one time. I was known as Big Hungry, and I used to have a Subaru. I had a WRX that I brought from Virginia that I used to go and run up and down St. Cloud all the time with you guys. But you probably don't remember me. You probably have no idea who I am, because you know what? You're getting old too. You know? We're all getting old. We're all turning old. You know, we're getting to the point where, you know what? Dementia's gonna fucking kick in one day, and we're gonna probably forget everything that we ever fucking know how to do. Even drive. But the thing is I don't care if you post stuff on a car club about a car. That's fine. But if it's about somebody's life and about what kind of person they are, and you start getting into personal details and it has nothing to do with cars, don't fucking post it. Because it's not your fucking place to be. Because you don't need to go around about somebody, because if you fuck around, you're gonna find out. There are people that, you know, do things to people. There are people that do things to people. There are people that bust out windows. There are people that do shit to their cars. There's all kinds of things. But I'm not gonna do that. Because I'm the bigger person. I'm the bigger man. Because I'll talk to you about what you want to do. I'll talk to you about your post on St. Cloud Shittiest. And you know what? Once you find out what kind of a person I am, then you're going to change your whole perspective on me. Because I'm not a bad person, dude. I don't hate people. I don't. I try to like and be around everybody. Because the thing is that I'm a good person. Everybody likes to be around me, they say. I don't know if they're just, I, myself, don't know if they're just blowing smoke up my ass or they're being serious. But when people find out what kind of a person I am, they actually give me a pretty decent, you know, they actually treat me with a little bit of decency. I mean, like David here. David's a friend of mine, and he's a very quiet guy. But the thing is that when I met him, not a lot of people seemed to talk to him. Not a lot of people seem to say things about him. He kind of just stayed off in his own little world. That's fine. But every time I see somebody that comes to a car club or car show, I give a fist pound and I make them feel like they matter. Not just because I bring cheeseburgers to the fucking thing. Not because I bring soda to the fucking thing. I want people to feel like they fucking matter. I want people to feel like they want to be there. I want them to feel like they're part of my family. Because family members fight with each other. They don't get along. But I'll tell you right now, going after somebody to make yourself better and going after their personality is not cool. Yeah, so what? You hate my car. You don't like my car. Big fucking deal. You don't like my car. But don't hate on the person who drives the car if you don't know anything about them. Yeah. Because someday that person will fucking snap and will fucking start smashing your windows out of your car. Or fucking start doing something to you. And you know what? It'll take probably about 5-6 guys to stop me. But I'm not going to go that far. Because I'm too goddamn old. And you know what? I don't need that kind of shit in my life. So maybe if you would talk to me about stuff before you just went ahead and posted something on there, maybe you could realize to yourself that, you shouldn't have posted that. But I'm going to sit here and keep on, taking it one day at a time like I always do. And go from there. Live my life. Support the team that I'm part of. I still have Trax Revolution. I'm still the owner of that group. We've been around for 29 fucking years. And our 30th anniversary is right around the corner. Yep. Yeah. Our 30th anniversary is right around the corner. Yeah. And we started in 1995. Yep. Well, 1996, I think it was. Yeah, 96 we started. Yeah, 96 we started. So, yeah, it's just around the corner. But I'm still going to continue to be me. I'm not sitting here asking for forgiveness. I'm not sitting here telling you, what I want from you. But I'm basically just saying, dude, to be 100% honest with you, if you, wanted to talk to me about it, you know who I am. Not hard to find out. Just put KamoKlauZ in the search engine, and you'll find me. You can send me a message, and you can be like, hey, this is the guy who posted a picture of your car on St. Cloud Shittiest. I want to talk to you about what I said and apologize. And we'll go from there, bro. Because, there are, things about me that people don't know about me. They have no idea what kind of a person I am. But they all, want to make litigations and they They want to make, assumptions about me. But, they don't need to make assumptions about me. All you gotta do is just ask me, and I'll pretty much talk to you. Because if you want to know me that damn bad, the thing is I don't have a problem telling you who I am. I mean, there are so many people in this world that, sometimes don't care what another person thinks. They just leave it alone. But sometimes it grows on people and it bothers them so much that they just don't know what to do. And I'm a person who pretty much would give the shirt off my back to somebody. I would pretty much help a person out in need. I'd give you money if I had it to give. I would do all kinds of things to make your life better than mine. Because that's the kind of person I am. But if you don't think that, then you don't know me. If you want to make assumptions about somebody, or you want to make things or say things about somebody that isn't true, and you just want to belittle me and talk down to me, that's fine. But as soon as I catch wind of it or I hear something about it, then we need to figure out what's going on. Because the thing is, I know who the guy who posted stuff about my car, because somebody got me a picture of who you are, and I'll post you up on my Facebook page with a little subheading, and I'll be like, hey, I'm looking for this guy, and all I want to do is talk to him. I want to talk to him, and I want to talk to him and ask him why he did what he did. Because the thing is there's no reason to talk shit about somebody you don't know. No? And I'm not trying to start anything. I just want to get down to the bottom of the brass tacks and the balls with this situation, because the thing is I'm sick and tired of always going around and having somebody hate me who knows nothing about me. Because that's just not how my life works. Yeah. Because I never did anything wrong to anybody. Never have. I've always been a laid-back person that you can talk to. Have a conversation with. Because I'm not really a person who hates on people just because of what was said and what was done. I actually like to get down to the bottom of it. Because the thing is that that's what I'd like to do. It's just ask a question. Because if you want to say something about me and you don't know anything about me, then that's kind of like you're just making lies and making stuff up to make yourself be better, and you're belittling me. you're coming down on me for no reason. And I don't understand why that is. Because I would never do that to anybody else. You know, I am going through things in my life, but that's neither here nor there. We're getting everything taken care of, and that's fine. That's all the further it's going to go. Because that party doesn't want to be talked about, and that party's going to be left alone. I have never in my life have ever wanted to ever have anybody hate me. I don't like it when people hate me. Because the more hate that I have towards me, the more it makes me want to just be gone from this place. Meaning not be around anymore. Because, people say, Jack, you struggle with depression and you struggle with this, that, and the other, but you want to know what I struggle from more than anything in the world? I struggle with the fact of the matter is that people in this world judge me before they even get to know me. Darren did it at one time, and Darren and I sat down and we talked about our problems. And I think Darren's a really cool guy. I have nothing but respect for him. I don't have any disrespect for him. I think he's a pretty cool guy. He knows his stuff, and he's, really cool. Now, one of the other people that I'm really good friends with, and I talked to her a lot, and I called her a dude when I first met her, is Cirrus. Or Cyrus. Cirrus or Cyrus. I think it's Cirrus, but I talk about her, and I think she's a great person. I think she's done a lot of work on her car, and she's turned it out to be one of the most respectable cars on the group. Minnesota After Dark has a few decent cars. Yeah, they do have a few decent cars. Our president of our car club has one of the greatest cars in the world. And it's a show. It's a fast-built car that he's working on ever so much. But there's not a lot of parts for a show. There's not a lot of things that you can do to make a show faster. No, there's not. But there's a lot of research to be done. There's a lot of timing. There's a lot of issues. There's a lot of things that you can do to make a show faster. But right now, Michael's also getting ready to be a family man. Yes, he's getting ready to be a family man. Just like Isaac and Tabitha are getting ready to start a family. Just like Stephen and his wife, or his fiance. They're all starting to become family members. They're all starting to get their future. So right now, cars are going to be really limited. But the thing is that if you have a passion and a drive for cars, you're going to do what you possibly can every day to be around them. I got out of the automotive industry because, one, I was tired of stupid, bitch-ass people, customers, who kept on bringing their cars back because the check engine light come on after I got done doing so much work, and always the customer saying that I was screwing them out of money or that I was trying to take money out of them because the check engine light came on because there are things that manufacturers do to make the check engine light come on, and sometimes mechanics could just clear the code, and then all of a sudden another sensor goes off or another thing goes off, and the check engine light comes on, and then they look at it like, oh, I just got done spending like $2,000 on you to work on my car, and the check engine light comes back on. You got to find a different mechanic. So that's why I got out of the mechanics industry right now. Is because I got bitched out by customers all the time. Because the customer's always right. Yeah. Wrong. So that's why I left. That's why I don't work on cars anymore. But I can tell you, there are some beautiful cars in this world, but I wouldn't want to work on them because I don't want to. I don't want to touch them. If it ain't my car, I'm not going to fucking deal with it. If it's my car, I'll work on it. If it's somebody else's, no, you're on your own shit. It's your own damn car. You work on it. See, the only reason why I had Dan work on my exhaust is because it was Dan's shop. And he worked on it and he did a hell of a job. Yeah. I mean, I would have loved to have worked on it with him, but I was going to let Dan do it because, you know, it's Dan's garage. Yeah. But that's one thing that a lot of people in this world just sit back and watch. And there's a lot of places out there now that claim to be very good for, you know, auto mechanics works, and there's not a lot of people who's doing them. I mean, SBR Automotive or SBR Performance out in Elk River, you know, my friend Andrew Knoll runs the place, and he's a great guy, and he's a, you know, great owner and everything else. And if you take him stuff, he knows how to work on it because he worked with Euro Tuning. Yeah. And Euro Tuning was a great company. But a lot of people look at me too because they're like, well, you know, why do you want to work on a Mini Cooper, dude? Why do you want to do stuff to a Mini Cooper? Well, because a Mini Cooper is a fast little vehicle, man. It is really fast, and it can go down the road at a very fast speed. I mean, it's I gotta get my clutch fixed in my car, but I also want to rebuild. I want to put, you know, more work into the engine. I want to put a JCW engine in it instead of or like a 2.0 liter engine in it from a JCW Countryman, but a lot of people tell me I can't do that. Well, then we'll just case swap it and put a 2.0 liter engine in it from a Honda. I mean, I think that'd be cool as hell. Sage thinks that would be cool as shit. Because Sage thinks anything that's a Honda is awesome, which I think is really cool. David's got a Honda. Dan's got a Honda. And who wouldn't want a 9,000 RPM engine? Yeah. Same engine that's in a Type R. That would be badass. Yep. I think it'd be cool, but that's just me. But anyway, I mean, you know, there's a lot of things on my mind. And I don't know when the hell I'm possibly ever gonna turn around and feel like I'm I have a lot of people that are in my mind that, have said things about me and that have talked down to me. And I'm just going to kind of worry more about my own life than worry about theirs. I don't know what I'm going to do when I meet Jess on Friday. I'm just going to try to take it one day at a time, and hopefully she, understands what kind of a man I am. Because I just try to live my life every day like it's my last day on this earth. And if anybody wants me around, they know where to find me. But all I want is to be someone's friend. I've never wanted to be someone's enemy. I've always wanted to be, around and be respected and be loved, be cared for, because back in Virginia, at least I thought the people there loved me. But maybe they just were blowing smoke up my ass too. I have no idea. Because I just want to live my life every day like I have a purpose to be here. I mean, Aaron, great guy. He drives an Avenger and a Jeep. And he seems like he's very happy. And, he doesn't have a care in the world. He always goes to work and does what he has to do. And Isaac and Tabitha, great couple. Great group of people. I love them guys. Zach, we almost thought we were going to lose you. But now you've been one of the best people in my life. Michael and Danny, you guys are a great couple, and you guys are a great group of people. I love you. I respect you. I just hope that there's somewhere, in this world that needs me around. And, Darren and Darren's girlfriend, I respect you guys a lot. John and Olivia, I wish that I could figure out what I did to piss Olivia off, and I'm really sorry if I ever made anybody upset, because I don't want to be hated on. I'm a normal everyday guy. I put my pants on one leg at a time, and I just don't want people to hate me, because the more people who hate me, the more I become like Eeyore. The more I hide in the corner and never come out. The more I stay away. Because if people don't like me, I'm not going to be around. I'm just going to do videos in my house and just live in my basement or live in my apartment, and I'm never going to come out. I'm just going to go to work and come home and sleep, and probably one day, if I'm up to it, dust off that old trigger finger and just put one in the chamber and be gone. Because I am tired of living in a world full of hate. I'm tired of living in a place where people just keep on belittling a person until they just can't take it anymore. I just don't know whatever I did. I just don't know why people can't talk to me and tell me what their problem is with me. They think that I'm just going to grab them and beat the shit out of them. I'm not. I just want to know what I ever did. I just don't ever want to ever, I'm not even a person who would take anything to the police, because I don't even like the cops showing up at my house. I just want to be myself. Go to car shows, do things, hang out, have fun, live my life and hang out with my family, hang out with people that respect me. That's all I want to do. All I want to do is just go to car shows because I have a passion for it. The Next guys, if you want to get to know me, we can hang out and we can talk. Because I have nothing but respect for you guys. The St. Cloud car enthusiasts, if you guys want to talk. Say something. Talk to me. You know, I respect all kinds of car clubs, man. I'm friends with all kinds of people. I know Drive Cartel. I know Minnesota Car Enthusiasts. I know a lot of guys that put on car shows and a lot of crews that put on car shows, and I have nothing but respect for them because I have a passion for cars. My passion for cars may be a little bit different than yours is. I don't believe in going a straight line. I believe in going on gravel roads and dirt. I believe in trophy trucks and, WRC rally cars and dirt. Because that's what I believe in. I believe in dirt. Yeah. I like being around ATVs and side-by-sides, lifted trucks, dirt, mud. I don't mind the truck guys. If you got a lifted truck, you got a lifted truck, man. More power to you. Everybody says the same thing that they always say when they see a lifted truck. You're just overcompensating for a small penis. I mean, that's a joke. That goes on with everybody who's ever said anything about a person with a lifted truck. I don't really care. If you have a lifted truck, you have a lifted truck. If you have a slam truck, you have a slam truck. If you have a Baja truck with a pre-runner suspension on it, you and I are going to talk. Because that's a cool truck. Just because I drive a Mini Cooper doesn't mean I'm a faggot. It doesn't mean I'm gay. It doesn't mean anything. It means I'm driving a rally car. And I'm working on trying to get another SUV or a Jeep or something that is good for rock crawling or going off-roading or going out in the backcountry woods. I mean, heck, if this girl that I'm talking to, if Jess and I ever become friends and we become lovers, I mean, she's got a Jeep and we're going to go off-roading in it together. She's going to be part of my life. But I don't know. It's just another one of those things. It just has to happen first. Things have to change. Things have to happen. So we just have to take it one damn day at a time. That's all I say. I just live my life every day like everybody else does and tries to get through this world that we live in just because that's all we know. Because all we want to do is be happy and get to know each other. And trust me, if the NextX guy, the president of NextX wants to be on a podcast of mine, yeah, come over to my house and we'll sit down and we'll have a podcast. We'll talk about things. We'll make it happen. I mean, it'll be one of those things that you just don't really expect, but hey, it'll make it work. That's how it's got to be, bro. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna put not a partition up, but I'm gonna put like a curtain up between my bedroom and between the couch and the what's it called, because I'm just gonna put a curtain rod down and we're just gonna have like a curtain rod come and yeah. Because that's what I want to do. I want to make a special kind of partition in a wall that we can put up between the rooms and stuff. Yeah. Cause I go down along this line. But anyway. So we're getting into my final thought and getting into my final thing that's on my mind tonight. Basically what's on my mind right now, if it's car related, it stays on Minnesota After Dark, and Tracks Revolution, and Next X, and the Minnesota Car Enthusiast or St. Cloud Enthusiast. If it's car related, that's where it belongs. If it's not car related, if it's someone's life and someone's history, who gives a shit? Just drop it. Just don't worry about it, bro. Because the thing is that nobody needs to have all this stuff blasted about their history on Facebook. There's no need for it. The only thing that I want to be is, I want to be friends with everybody. I want people to understand that, that JakKlauZ is a great guy. Not somebody who's, something that you guys want to call him, but he's not. Because that's just not fair to him. Because he puts in this hard work, and he does all this stuff, because if he didn't, somebody else would. So, that's what I say. Minnesota After Dark, great car club, great group of people. We go up to Home Furniture every once in a while, and we go up there and we have fun. We hang out. We even do spark plugs in the parking lot. I mean, Michael was putting spark plugs in, Matt's Mustang last week. That was awesome. Because something was going on in my mind that nobody had any control over. It was just all me. And then Tabitha and Isaac made me feel better because, I got an invite to their wedding, which I can't wait to go to their wedding. I just can't wait to see Tabitha and Isaac together because they deserve each other. Just like I can't wait to see Michael and Danny and Steven and his wife. Because, they deserve each other. I mean, relationships work out for some people. Others, they just don't work out. I don't know what it is. But I really wish that, somebody would find me something that would work. But I also wish I could win the lottery first. Because I would love to win the lottery and change my life around. Because my life right now is kind of one-sided, and I feel like I'm crashing into a brick wall every day. I feel like I'm going to die in a couple of days because I feel like I'm not living very well. Most of the time I go to bed, every night I'm hurting. My side is all messed up, but I don't want to go to a doctor because I don't want to pay a big-ass doctor bill. Because I don't want to just pay a big-ass doctor bill for it to be something like indigestion or gas or acid reflux or some bullshit like that. I want to be... Before I go to a doctor, I better be fucking dying before I go to the doctor's office. Because I'll tell you right now, if it's just gas or something like a fucking food pill or a food pellet that's stuck in my stomach and I'm dying or whatever, I better be fucking having blood coming out my eyeballs or something. Because I don't even know what the fuck's going on 90% of the time. I'm not a very healthy guy. I know I only eat one meal a day, and I fast all the time. I drink water and milk all the time, and then I have an occasional energy drink when I need a little bit of caffeine every once in a while. But I don't even fucking exercise because I don't even want to pay for a gym. I'm a lazy fat ass who doesn't even want to do anything with his life. Who thinks that 90% of the time I'm just wasting away again and worrying about something that I have no control over. I just wish that sometimes I could find a real reason to want to live. I really wish that somebody out there, a girl, would really want to be with me instead of just ghost me, catfish me, and fuck me over. Do that to a chick. No. I would tell a girl everything she wants to hear about me and make her interested in being with me. Even if all she's interested is, cuddling and having sex later. But I don't know. I just want to be happy. I mean, I talked to this girl named Marcella. She's a girl from Mexico. And I really like her a lot. But she only wants to be friends. Because she's not a U.S. citizen. She doesn't have papers to be here. She's only here on a work visa. Yeah. She's only here on a work visa, and I met her last year, and I told her that I was going through a divorce, and I told her that if once my divorce finalizes, that I would like to be with her, because she makes me feel wonderful. She makes me feel great inside. She makes me feel like I matter. Because I've never felt that way about a girl other than my first wife. I mean, I love Jo. I still do. I still think about her all the time. But I know I fucked it up. And I'm never going to get that back. So, she can be gone. Jo can move on. And just know that I miss the hell out of her. That I feel broken inside, and I feel like I fucked it all up. And I'm the one that deserves to get this, to have this feeling, and I deserve it. I deserve everything. I deserve everything that has ever been given to me. I deserve it. And I know for a fact that I'm never going to ever find another woman like Jo. And I love her family. I love her kids. I've always wanted to be their dad. I mean, I've looked at all of the pictures that we have, back in the day when we were together. I mean, I have my pictures and my stuff, and I got a new computer, and I was going through stuff, and for some odd reason, I think the cloud and Google Cloud has pictures, but there's memories and all sorts of stuff. But I know I'm never going to get that back. And Joe, if you are listening, and Ruby, if you are watching, I'm not trying to bash your mother. I just want you guys to know that from the bottom of my heart, I'm sorry. I'm very, very sorry. There are times I've sat in my house, just sitting there, wishing that I could be with Joe. And there are times that I'm glad that I'm not in her life anymore, because I know I fucked it up big time. Because I was a narcissistic asshole and a person who only seemed to care about himself. And I understand if anybody out there fucking hates me or doesn't want to be my friend anymore after this, it's fine. I'll just continue to be myself and go to work. The place that I try to get away from everything. But sometimes I can't even get away from it at work. Sometimes it just rears its ugly head. And I go to work and I put up with it. I do what I have to do. Because I think to myself, if I don't do it, somebody else will. I remember talking to Grant Hill and Andrew one time. I was quoting Varsity Blues. And I said, Andrew, you're kind of like Moxon. And Grant, you're kind of like Twitter. And I said, I'm like Billy Bob. And I hope that someday in my life, all three of us live the good life. Have kids and pass on things and, do stuff. I mean, Andrew, you're living the good life. You're passing on stuff. You're teaching your kids hockey. You're with a great wife. You're with somebody who loves you and cares about you. Grant, you turned out to be one of the greatest guys in the world, and you're living the great life with one of the greatest women in the world. And, I'm damn proud of y'all. And Brian Sullivan, I never thought I would ever talk to you again. I didn't think I was ever going to find you. And I did. And I found you, and I told you how I was feeling in private messages, and then I basically fucking hung up the phone with you, and I haven't heard anything back. And I feel just like completely ripped apart, because I don't feel like it actually sank in. Because you told me that I had to get my life and everything taken care of, but I can't get anything taken care of. I can't do anything. My ass is finally broke again, because I spent all the money that I got from this loan trying to pay off all these debts. And all this stuff in my life. And, all I do is sit here and think about everything that I could have done better in my life. But it all went to hell in a handbasket as soon as I served Joe her papers. Well, basically, no, it actually went to hell in a handbasket when Joe and I separated. I love Joe, okay? But I know that I will never, ever get her back. Some of the things about our relationship was a misunderstanding. But it was 90% of my fault. No, it's 100% my fault. It's 100% my fault. I fucked up everything. Even Louie knows that. But I'm damn proud of her kids. I sure as hell hope, I hope they piss on it. Or I hope they throw dirt on it. Or they throw shame at me. Or they say that I was an asshole. Because I was. I was an honest to God asshole. Even God doesn't want anything to do with me. See, sometimes God makes mistakes. I'm one of them. Someone else dies that it should have been me. There are times that I look back on all the life and I still kind of wish that Dustin was alive more than I was. And you want to know why? It was because I had nothing going for me then, and I have nothing going for me now. Music, he was doing everything that he wanted to do. And he had a life. He was fucking happy. And then it all ended just like that. Yeah. It all ended just like that. And then Trevor and Christina, I mean, Trevor let me stay at Lansdowne, and I almost ruined that. I almost fucked that all up too. Because all I do is fuck up. And the messed up thing is I'm not an alcoholic. And I do these lives and I think, you know, why do people follow me? Why do people, listen to me? Why do people, talk to me? But I just keep on thinking to myself that, there is a better life out there. I just don't know when it's going to happen. I always sit here and look up, or I talk in front of me, and I always say, hey, God, could you give Jack a little bit of luck? Could you give Jack a little bit of courage? Could you give Jack a little bit of strength to go on? There's not a day that I wake up and I think, oh, God, I'm awake, and I have one more day to keep on going. But the question is why the hell am I still here? Who up there still wants me around? I mean, when I lost my grandma Marge, a lot of things went to hell in a handbasket with me. When I lost that had suicide's the only way to go. But it's just because I have a lot of things on my mind. And basically my final thought of the night that I have is coming down to a T right now, and it's coming out, and I'm basically sitting here saying, you know, if I could get a chance to have a do-over in my life, I would give it to somebody else, not give it to me. I mean, I'm still out there trying to wish that I could win, more than $10,000 in the lottery. I would like to win like 20,000 or even more than that if I could. But what would I use the money for? Hopefully to pay off a lot of my problems. But then I would probably pay off all my problems and they would still come back to haunt me. Because there's not enough money that'll ever take care of your problems. There's not enough things in life that make you stop thinking the day that someone's going to give me flowers is the day that's going to be on my funeral. You wonder, should I just have cremation so that nobody has to carry my fat ass in a casket? It's just all these things that happen. And one of the things that I'm hoping too is I'm hoping that my parents go before me, because no parent wants to bury their kid. But sometimes I think that my parents are going to end up, just cremating me and spreading my ashes in front of a McDonald's and going, hey, this is what killed him. That you look back at life in the world and you brought her over here and you just treat her like shit. And you didn't even know it because you're too narcissistic. Jo said to me one day, she said that the only way she would take me back is if I was a man and realized that I fucked up. But I don't want her to take me back. I don't want her. Kids is to have a good life and to go on, and I want Ruby to live a great life, become what she wants to be. I want Louie and Brenda to have a life together and have wonderful kids. I want Jo to have grandbabies. I want Jo to be a grandma. I want her to see her family again. I want her to be around her family in England and watch her nieces and nephews grow up. And I want them to have the world. Will I be buried in the ground? Because I don't think I need to live anymore. I think the problem needs to be put out. I think the problem needs to just go away. But then maybe if God resurrect me into somebody who's positive all the time. Resurrect me into somebody who is a Santa Claus. Resurrect me into somebody who actually is loved by people. Not just because they want to be around him, but they really do love him because he's a good person. Because that's all I try to do is live my life and be happy. But sometimes I just can't. But I'm going to tell you this, guys. I love everybody who watched tonight's episode. And I love everybody who wants to be around my life and who really and truly loves the real me. But after tonight, if you defriend me or you stop talking to me or you think I'm nuts and crazy and you don't want to talk to me or anything, just thanks for being around. But if you want to talk to me and you want to be my friend and you want to keep talking to me, because I don't even know what I do 90% of the time. I'm just who I am. So, my final thought right now is basically this. Live your life like it's your last day on this earth. Always go out there and love everybody. And if they don't want your love, then they don't need to be in your life. But don't. Hey, have a good day and enjoy your life. Because while you're over there being negative, I'm over here being positive. And I'm trying to keep on taking it one day at a time. Whether or not I'm your first choice or I'm your last, just know one thing, that I will make you laugh if you really love me. Or if you really care about me. Because the thing is that everything I do is from my heart. And I don't want people to hate me. I don't want people to hurt me. And I don't want people to think that I'm out to just to get them. All I want to do is respect them. You know? That's all I want to do. So, that's tonight's episode, and I just want to say thanks again, guys, for watching, and see you on the flip side.